Sorry I'm late for this one. It was released past Friday, but I've been playing pretty much all weekend because I love the story, I love the world, I love everything about this game series, especially this game story-wise. So when they announced this, I was super ecstatic, but I was expecting a digital code inside. I didn't read much into it. I wasn't gonna buy it because it wasn't physical. But guess what? There's a code inside, and it's fully physical copy game on its own. It's actually in my Switch right now. I've been playing all weekend. I love combat system, the environment, the story. I spent 80 hours on the first one. Well, this logically in the order of the story, this is the first one. This is the real Xenoblade Chronicles 2. The other one, the game that we all played, if you played through it, Mythra and the whole story of the Aegis and Malice destroying everything. I just love all these characters, voice actor, everything. I love everything. The whole lore. Creatures, beasts, combos, battles, boosting up your characters and everything. I really love this whole world. I'm passionate about it. And this time around, I'll try to do more side quests so I don't stay stuck. Yes, you have the good old upgrade tree and make Mythra eat her favorite dessert to boost up some kind of power up to open a door somewhere in the game. You know how complicated it is. You know how crazy it is. The grind and everything. It's back. It's not as hard so far as Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Thorna, the Golden Country, actually when you start off you're all by yourself with Jin and you're playing Laura. This is what the part I love the most. This is 500 years before Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So you have pretty much, because you had some flashbacks in the other game where you saw Jin with his first driver, who was Laura, and he was in love with her and everything. I don't want to spoil it too much because you guys are going to play with two of the story just like me. Basically, people are saying you got about 40 hours of gameplay in here. So it's worth it, cash-wise and everything. But if you're a fan of the series, it doesn't play in it. Combat mechanics are boosted up, are more fun in this one. I like the combat mechanics on this one over the difference is insane. It's pretty much the same, but this little detail, the fact that you are the driver and you have your blades, right? And you can double up on blades, have two blades with you over protecting you, but you can actually in battle switch with your blade. You embody your blade and you can use his move, and then you can do some crazy combination combos. When you do the break combos or the elemental combos, you have again all three elements. You start off with fire, then you want to combine with water attack, and then you end with light, right? So some of your blades have water, light, earth, fire. It's so much fun to just combine and go back while you're fighting with your main character. Your main character has an elemental also. Then you have to boost up, like in the other game. You have to boost up how many attacks you do. Then your superpower gets charged up. Then you do some really insane damage. Way more fun and way easier to do combos. And they do way more damage than the other game. I would love to have these battle mechanics from this game and go back and do the final boss battle. I would kill him so much faster with these battle mechanics. It's just insane. Really, really fun. Very original. You can actually embodied and play as your blade. So the driver has two blades. So you pretty much have a team when you start off. Your three characters. Some of them have one, some of them have two. But they all can all have two. You can play with whoever you want. But the driver embodies the blade. So if you played throughout the series, you know what I'm talking about. This new factor of the battle mode, just they really refined it, and it's so much more fun. Battle mechanics are crazy, but first and foremost, it's the story. So if you played through the other one, remember that the blades they once they change drivers, it's the owner, it's the human, it's the how can I describe it? The drivers are pretty much human, and they embody these special elemental or creature or spirits. They're like, I don't know how to describe it. It's such a good story. I love it so much. So the blades, they follow you around and everything, just like in the first one. But in this one, you can embody them, which is epic. So as I was saying, the story is 500 years before. So whenever a driver dies, the blade loses their memory, but the body's still there. So it's fun to see, going back in time 500 years before the other one, seeing the exact same blades, but their first driver. But it's funny. It's pretty much based on Jin. If you remember Jin, Jin is the bad guy in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, eventually turns good. But in this one, he's good. And kind of disappointed in the bad guy. It's pretty much the same one as the second one. But there's a twist. There's a twist. It's actually good. So Malice is at it again. He is a free blade, which makes no sense still to me. He has too much power, and he doesn't need a driver, so he wreaks havoc everywhere and destroys all the village. But going back in this game, you're actually going back in the same towns, and you see they're underdeveloped, and they just started. You're actually walking the exact same place, but back in time. I love chronology in a game. I like it when it really follows it, so this one really delivers. You're walking around places that you already visit, but they're not finalized and everything. The cities are destroyed, and it's quite epic. I like visiting old ruins of cities you already explored and developed in the second game. So 500 years before. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of really fun, but seeing the actual blades with their original drivers, they could do another one 500 years before, and we could see. But I like the chronology and the story around these blades. The drivers are cool. You're actually surprised if Mythra is right in the beginning, and she has this driver, Adam. It looks much more wiser and older than the one we had in the other game. You have all the original like blades in there. It's really awesome. I just love the story, the lore, the whole thing. So it's gotta be, if you're a fan of the, don't miss out on this. I was gonna not buy this because I thought it was a digital code, but it is a physical copy. I was gonna skip on this. Honestly, after playing it, even if it was digital, I'm still gonna buy it. It's actually a very good story. Lots of hours of gameplay, lots of grind, lots of unlocking doors and looking for Easter eggs and treasures and power-ups and other blades for sure. The blade switch and combat mechanics, very original, and it's a big step up and better than the first one. So gotta go with must own, must buy, and whatever you do, please keep those combat mechanics, pimp it out a bit. But for the next game, I want the same combat mechanics. They are very, very good and way more fun. Makes the game a lot more enjoyable. So have a good one. Don't forget to thumbs up the video, support the channel, and I'll see you later on.